Hello, everyone. Meteorologist Katie here, and I have an amazing friend, a fantastic acquaintance, and an old soul. Brandi, welcome to the stream.
Thank you so much. I love that introduction, by the way. I think it fits perfectly.
It's oh my gosh. We've known each other since, oh my gosh, several years.
Yeah, so I think it was your sophomore year, my junior year?
Yeah. I moved in next to you, because I got a single room, and it was a sweet style. And all I remember is I dropped my bed on myself, and you and Jillian, who the viewers actually know from my other streams, came and helped.
Yes, and I was worried about you that entire night. I was like, oh, you text me if you need something. I'm gonna bring you pain meds. I'm gonna bring you ice. I'll bring you chicken noodle soup.
Oh my gosh. You are so by far one of the kindest, most fun souls out there. And that's why when I was thinking of content for the channel, I was like, I remember she was pretty big into Avatar. I'm pretty big into Avatar, and that'd be a fun show to talk about. Hence that graphic and the show.
And that's how we got here today.
Exactly. Well, and it's hilarious because, and we'll probably get into this later on in the show, they just had a huge announcement for Avatar Studios at Nickelodeon.
Yeah. From
the creators of the show. And we planned this right before they dropped that announcement.
I feel like it was 2 days. So we were talking about it, I think Wednesday or something. And then that Friday or Saturday, they dropped it, and we were like, so we spoke it into the universe and then saved the fandom, and nobody's ever gonna know.
Oh my gosh. You and I both, did you watch it from the beginning when it first came out on Nick?
Oh yeah. No, I remember the day, the first day that I watched it.
Oh, lucky you. I don't remember.
I don't know why I remember it.
Well, what was it, 2005, right, when it came out, I'm pretty sure. So I was maybe 9 years old at the time, and immediately, this was one of the promo images that they used for the show. It just caught your attention.
It caught your attention, but I think I even remember watching the promos for the show several months before it aired.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know why I remember this, but I don't know what they say, but I kind of remember the visuals and the vibe, and I was like, yeah,
exactly.
That's what I want.
Yes, well, it's so different from cartoons nowadays. This is a very upbeat, positive, colorful, elemental outside.
Definitely, world. But I think even at the time it was something different than what was on, even Nickelodeon. So I think at this time you have Fairly Odd Parents, SpongeBob. I think Danny Phantom might have still been running. Yeah. What was it? What's the Jimmy Neutron? I think is what it's called.
Oh so you have Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah, so you had those, which I guess Danny Phantom is kind of a superhero-esque thing, but everything else was just kind of your day-to-day going to school, blah blah blah, which I was never really into. I'm always into those superhero type things. So when this hit, I was like, yeah.
Oh yes. Oh, and I should have pulled the intro, because if anyone's watching this and you never have seen Avatar before, welcome to the journey. If you've seen it before, Louise here watching it back on DVDs, impressive. Glad that you were able to watch it. See, some people watched it live as it was happening, reruns, on demand, DVDs. No matter, as long as you could watch it. But every episode started with the mantra of water, earth, sorry, I had to remember that. Water, earth, fire, air. And those are the 4 basic elements. And you get these people like Katara, who's that water person, and Aang, who's the yay. Those are literally their descriptions. They're perfect. These elements. It is. And so you are immediately, from the first few seconds, thrown into not backstory, but you are told what happens in this world. What are your thoughts on that?
The intro itself?
Yeah.
I think it's iconic, and it also just, from a story standpoint, it automatically lets you know what's happening. So it's like, water, earth, fire, air, long ago, the four nations lived in harmony, blah, 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 blah. And so you're automatically just thrown into the universe. You're like, okay, they have these elemental powers. And then there's kind of like this chosen one, the Avatar, who comes along, every generation, or it just keeps getting reincarnated. And he is kind of like the balance and kind of keeps the peace. And then he's vanished and we don't really know why. And then we're just kind of like thrown into the world. And so it's very quick. It's easy to understand. Like, so as a kid, I got it, so that's what they're going for. But even as I've grown older and rewatched it 5 bajillion times, I'm still just really into how they've so concisely tell that story, even in the theme song. And you can really, like, you should watch from the beginning, but if you just like watch, the 5th episode from the first season, that intro still stays the same and you still know what's going on and you can kind of fill in some gaps and kind of be like, okay, all right, I can get into this. So I love the intro. I think it does a lot.
And of course, it has that iconic line of everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. And then you're just like, I
use that like in my daily life constantly. I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. But everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. And a lot of people don't get that. And it makes me sad.
No, oh my gosh. Yes. So I'm going to pull up here. This is a graphic that shows a ton of the characters that they introduce. You have people from the Earth Kingdom, the Fire Nation, the Air Nomads, the Water Tribes, because there are two.
You even have Bosco the Bear by Momo.
Just
single-handedly the best character.
Oh my gosh. And it's just looking at the animation, this is anime. It's like Western anime, in my opinion. What do you think?
I don't know. So I know there's a big old giant debate of, is Avatar anime? Is it not? I don't have the answer. I don't think that's really what the show should be about. Like, there shouldn't be this great divide.
Yeah. That was just an episode.
I know. See what I did there? But no, I don't. Is it anime? Is it not? I don't know. I'm not an animator myself. I'm not qualified to answer.
Well, regardless, it is a beautifully illustrated show.
Yes, the visuals are fantastic. And I think that's also what kind of makes it timeless is, like the first season you rewatch it and you're kind of like, all right, animation maybe didn't age as well as it could, but even the second and third seasons, you're they still look fantastic. They still look magical. It still makes me feel like I'm a 9-year-old curled up under a blanket, being like, man, I wish I could bend.
Yes. Oh my gosh. In the shower, when you get the water going down your arm, and it just happens to like extend a little bit farther because of the surface tension. You're like, I'm a waterbender.
Yeah. Or like when it's really cold outside, you're like breathe and you're like, I'm an airbender. Not really, but I'm an airbender.
Exactly. It is that childlike joy that you get from these simple things that the show really builds on. And also another thing I have to point out is if you haven't seen this show, you've heard the voices in it. Because we have Jason Isaacs, who plays Lucius Malfoy in the Harry Potter franchise. He voices one of the baddies in the series. We have Mark Hamill, who voices arguably the baddie in the series.
Yes.
I never knew until I was doing research for the show, and I was looking like maybe back in college, I was looking up the show and doing some research for some stuff that I had to write an article on because theology classes. And that's when I found out, and I was floored.
I think I realized that it was Mark Hamill, like when words just escaped my brain. When season 3 was airing, I think that's when I figured out that it was Mark Hamill. And I was
got some lines.
I was like, wait, what? What? And everybody knows that Mark Hamill voices the Joker in a lot of things. But another thing that I watched when I was growing up was Batman the Animated Series. which he also voices the Joker in that. And so, like, that was just, like, blowing my mind. Plus, he's Luke Skywalker.
Yes.
Everybody
didn't include that.
can't forget that. But no, it blew my mind that we had the Joker voicing it. And, like, even when you, or at least when I rewatch it, I can hear it just a little bit. Just a little bit. You can hear it. And I'm just like,
oh, yeah. He's like, I know what's going on here. Oh, my gosh. Well, and I have to say, looking at just say this picture, if it'll actually come up, there we go. These are the main characters. And the journeys that they all go on are incredible, especially considering that they're children. Like, the show is made for kids, but if you think about it, and these are kids, the show talks about genocide in the first episode. It talks about war. It talks about family abuse. And it's like, good Lord, Nickelodeon, what are you doing? But it's so beautifully written that you're able to digest it. And it helps you actually understand a lot more about this stuff.
Yeah, I think as a kid, I didn't really pick up on all of this. I was just like, like, I'm really big into comic books. So I was like, they're like, it's like a new superhero take. So that's what I was there for. Yeah. But as I've grown up, I've just been like, we're talking about this? Oh, yeah. I used to watch this? Did my parents realize? Not that it's a bad show or anything like that, but it does deal with very mature content. And that's what I think really helps adults like be into, like, it's a show for kids, but it's not afraid to look at those big topics, you know, war, genocide, or even, like, I mean, they have this show, the whole series has amazing female characters in it.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And everything like that. So I think
like Katara, you have Toph, you have Suki. These are what female characters in cartoons should be.
Yes, exactly. Like, these are the female characters that we all want, and we have them. So I don't even know what the main point we were trying to make now, because I don't know.
I think in general, this show is a kid's show, and don't let that make you think I'm not going to watch this, because if you saw it as a kid, rewatch it as an adult. It is so different.
It is really, really different. And again, I just think adds to the rewatchability of it all.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely. And it brings back that superhero sense that you touched on, and the comic book sense, in that you're watching characters that you relate to, because they range in age from like 11 to, I think, Zuko must have been 16?
I think 16.
Yeah. So it's a very relatable age group that's very hard to depict in comics. Like, Spider-Man's probably the best one to depict kids' superheroes.
Yeah.
And then you also have these adults, the leaders of the water tribes, these masters of the elements. Whoop, almost decapitated myself with my headphones. And it happens. And you just, no matter who you are, you will find a character to relate to. I showed that sheet earlier of all the characters. You can relate to Momo if you want. Momo, nice little lemur. So I cannot stress enough, like Louise X. Sparrow. If you haven't watched it recently, go back and watch it. Because then you get a totally different sense. Now, have you done any rewatches lately, Brandi?
I think the last time that I rewatched the series in like its entirety was back in college, actually.
Really?
Yeah. So I've been on like a 2 or 3 year hiatus of the show, but like I've rewatched a couple of episodes, and then I actually just recently rewatched Legends of Korra.
Nice. Yes, that's another thing we need to talk about, because Avatar: The Last Airbender was the original series. If you're a Trekkie kind of person, you can put it in this sense. Legend of Korra was TNG, basically, in that it's a sequel. And you mentioned earlier, the way the Avatar works is they can bend all 4 elements. They're the only person in the world who can do that. And when that Avatar dies, they're reincarnated to the next nation in the cycle. So Aang was an air nomad. Korra, the next avatar, is a waterbender. Yeah. And if we get a new avatar, he or she will be a earthbender. And I'm like, I'm excited. But yeah, so Legend of Korra, that came out quite a bit later, I want to say.
Yeah, so I think the Avatar ended in 2008. And Korra...
It's been that long?
Yeah. Oh, I can't really remember.
I think it was like 2010-ish.
It might be like 2012.
Yeah, it was on when I was in high school.
Yeah, so, that's all I can really remember, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It comes out a bit later, but I think what's great about Legends of Korra is they kind of aged it up. So, like, we were watching Avatar when we were 9 and 10, and that's kind of where, like, the main characters' ages are. But then in Korra, they're a little bit older. They're, like, 16, 17, 18, which is when, like, their core audience was, which I think is really cool, is they kind of, like, aged the show up a bit, made the characters a little bit older, and, like, you could still 100% relate to what's going on.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
I think that's very insightful from the creators.
And it's not only, like, they aren't just continuing a franchise and just like, oh, we're going to milk this for everything we have. Nickelodeon. They did good things with the show. I'm going to try and pull up a picture here if it'll actually work. No, maybe, please. But this show, you can tell, same people, same creators, same ethos is the best way to put it, I'd say. But you mentioned growing up those characters. You got Korra there in the lead. You got Bolin the Earthbender. You got Mako the Firebender. And you have Tenzin the Airbender, which may or may not be a spoiler. It's really not. Considering it's called The Last Airbender, and now we have another. But one thing that I always found with Legend of Korra differing from Avatar The Last Airbender is that age difference, because now they're adding in, like, the differences between fighting for a cause and terrorism, and they're adding in the complexities of relationships. Like, the main character has a very interesting arc, and may or may not have caused the show with those more adult themes to be moved online rather than on air on Nickelodeon, but they did give it a finale, which was very nice.
Yes, which I always appreciate when networks allow shows to do that. Because I hate it when things are left hanging and then you build up all these headcanons and you're like, I can't remember what's true and what I've just decided is true.
The internet is like, oh my gosh, it makes you that blurred line between canon and fanfic really is noticeable. Now, Kai, I believe it's Kai. I hope I'm saying it correctly, which is the name of a character on the show. Fun fact. It says, totally lost faith in the Netflix show when the creators walked out. Brandi, you and I both know and both violently react to the idea of an Avatar The Last Airbender live movie / live series.
Yes.
Do we want it? I didn't pull any pictures for it because it doesn't deserve to be on the internet.
Thank you so much.
Would you care to explain what the movie is and why no one should ever watch it in their life ever?
It takes all the heart and all the soul of the original series, and then it's like trying to make it grungy, which doesn't need to happen. Like
M. Night Shyamalan.
I mean, I wasn't gonna name names, but if you want to,
oh, I will. M. Night Shyamalan, you know what you've done.
Yeah, and it makes unnecessary changes. It takes away some key story elements that help make the world make a little bit more sense. And like, I don't know, I think it's like close to a 2-hour movie, but it still was rushed. And I don't know how you can do that, but they did.
They tried to cram an entire season of The Last Airbender into one movie.
Tried to cram 22 episodes of a series into one little feature film, which just doesn't happen.
And I think the problem, I don't know if the people in the comments section, like Kai or William or Louise X Sparrow, any of you guys, feel free to chime in on this, but when they announced that it was Ong instead of Aang and Sokka instead of Sokka, I flipped the table.
No, so what's really sad is this film was announced, I think, when season 2 just wrapped up, I'm pretty certain.
Yeah, it seemed like it was still in this TV run.
Yeah. And so like I think for like every year, well, for my like birthday for like 3 years, I got the box set of Avatar, and then I would rewatch that season that like entire day.
Nice.
Because I was a nerd. I didn't have any friends.
Was
am a nerd.
There we go.
But I was rewatching the DVD extras, like you have to do. Ooh. And they had like this interview with M. Night, and they're talking about it, and they're excited. And I was like, I'm excited. And I kid you not, I can't remember when the movie came out, but it was, I think maybe like June or so. And I have an older sister, and she was like, I'll take you to go see it. I'll take you to go see it. I'm like, okay. And I think like January 1 of that year, every single day, I sent her a countdown, and I was like,
oh my gosh,
only 90 more days, only 15 more days, and we went
crushing reality.
Like, this is so sad, but we went to a midnight showing. Because it just so happened that like my sister was going to go on a vacation like that following weekend. And if we didn't go see it that night, we weren't going to go see it for a week. And I was like, I was being dramatic. I'm like, I can't live without seeing this movie. And so we go see it. We have to go with our mom, because my mom's like, well, I'm not going to let you go see a movie at midnight and driving back. So like my mom went to go with us, and we're sitting in the theater, and it's like packed. And we're watching it, and I think we're like 20 minutes in, and I was like, this sucks. My heart is broken.
Yeah.
I don't think I can trust ever again. And the best experience of like,
oh my God.
Experience I've had in a theater.
You know what the worst part is too? They were getting ready for a sequel movie. They set up Azula and everything.
No, this is the point that I'm trying to get to. It's the end of the movie. And you have like, I call them like the fancy credits, where they're like really nice animated and stuff like that. And we're all just sitting there because we're like, surely that can't be it. And it's like an after credit scene with Azula comes on, and like it comes on, and somebody in the audience goes, oh, is this not over?
Oh man.
Tuesday. And the whole theater was like, yeah. You said what we were all thinking. And that was like, the drive back was so quiet. Like my mom was driving us back, and she was like, well, what did you think? And I was like, I'm so sorry.
Kill me.
For like, several months. I spammed your Facebook Messenger way too much. And I was like, I was filled with so much regret.
Yep. Oh my gosh. Well, Rapunzel 347 looks like you had a similar experience. Did the midnight premiere. You've never seen a more depressed group of people trudged out of the theater.
Everybody was so sad. Like you weren't making eye contact because you were like, I don't want any of these people to know that I was here. But now I kind of wish that I, knew somebody who was there, because I feel like it was a traumatic experience, and we could talk about it some more and maybe get over some
just a support group.
Yeah, like a support. But so I can't trust live action adaptations anymore.
Not a chance.
No.
That's why I'm glad kind of the Netflix series is kind of like, it never existed. Shove.
Yeah, I know. Like they announced like this animation studio, Nickelodeon, for Avatar, and everybody on the internet is like, what's going to happen with the live action? Is it just not going to happen? Because it'd be cool if it didn't.
Yeah. Oh, totally fine. The one test image they put out was like the main companion. Every young character who's the protagonist has to have a companion. It seems, a companion animal is Appa. For those of you who don't know, an Appa is a sky bison, and it's basically a big old fluffy bison that can fly. I'm going to try and pull up the picture too. And just the picture of this furry, wet-nosed, weird-looking version of a cartoon character that we all loved instantly turns you off from watching that show.
I've actually tried to stay away from like the live action. Like I haven't read too much on it. Like I read a couple articles once the creators themselves left. But like we've heard about this live action TV series from Netflix for several years now. Mm-hmm. And like a lot of my younger sister, because I have two sisters, she's like, so what's happening with that series, you think? And I'm like, well, I think it's in trouble because we don't have a casting announcement and blah 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 blah. And then like literally 3 weeks later, the articles dropped that the creators left, and I was like, yeah, see, they're having some problems.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Also, oh my gosh, Rapunzel, to make matters worse, you paid extra for the 3D. For like 5 men to throw one rock at you through the screen.
Yeah, no, we didn't go see it in 3D because we didn't do that. I'm kind of happy that we didn't, but I feel for you.
Kai has a good question. Why just stay till the end? And then I believe Rapunzel has a very nice response of sitting in shock.
Yeah, really. I think the reason why I stayed till the end was I was still holding out hope. I was like, it can't be that bad.
Oh,
like, it can't, like, I was having trouble just processing the movie. And I was like, it's not going to be that bad. And, like, I was like, trying to rationalize it. Like, yeah, they changed some character names. That's all right. Yeah, the bending kind of sucks. That's all right. Yeah, they tried to do, like, the whole prison break from Haru. And, like, it takes, like, 7 earthbenders to move one rock. And I was like, yeah, that's
what takes me off the
right. That's all right. That's all right. I'm like, I don't think it was until, like, the very end when they, like, defeat all the Fire Nation from the Northern Water Tribe, blah, 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 blah. Until I was like, oh, yeah, this isn't all right.
Yeah.
This isn't all right. And then, like, the days after watching the movie, and I was like, you know what? They could fix it in the sequel.
Yeah.
They could fix it in the sequel.
No!
They didn't.
I want to know, for our however many viewers we have live and how many are watching on the replay, put it in the comments. Is there a single redeeming factor to the live action movie? Is there one thing you actually liked? Because for me, there's nothing.
There's nothing, but we will rewatch it just to like sit down and do like Mystery Science Theater version of it. Like we're watching it. And somebody be like, I thought we didn't like this movie. And I'm like, yeah, but we're just watching it to make fun of it because that's who we are.
Oh my gosh, yes.
But, that's the only reason you should go watch it or rewatch it, but watch it with a group of friends and make jokes at it and throw popcorn at the screen and like make it a festivity. But don't watch it because it's a good movie. Watch it because it's a terrible movie. And only watch it if you can like, don't spend any money on it. Like if it's still on Netflix, like do that. Or if you can find like a DVD copy, do that.
Or even on YouTube, a child reenacting it, which was basically the entire movie. But I guess there has been one good thing that came out of it, and it's Rapunzel's comment. There is no live-action movie in Ba Sing Se. Which draws back to the animated series, for those of you who aren't familiar. The memes that came out of it were the only good thing that came out of it.
The memes, the jokes.
Oh, I love it. But yes, so pushing aside the live actions, because that should never happen, other than cosplay. Cosplay's been pretty epic, in my opinion. But the episodes and the season of The Last Airbender that we have, you got water, you got earth, you got fire. 3 books, episodes throughout them, and a massive journey all intertwined. Say, if you enjoyed yourself today, would you be interested in doing a watch through of the entire series?
I mean, yeah, I think that would definitely be something that I would be interested in. Always, because like I just said, sometimes we watch movies and do a Mystery Science Theater thing with it.
Yeah.
So like, even though I love the series, and also here's the next thing is I think I could probably say lines before the characters do.
Oh my god.
I've watched the series beginning to end, I feel like at least 4 to 5 times, and then intermittently rewatched my favorite episodes. Literally, guys, I have no life.
Same.
Watching this one series, I could venture out and watch new things, but I'm like, why would you?
No, it feels safe.
Exactly.
You know they won't screw it all up in the last episode, Supernatural. So
don't get me started on Supernatural.
That was violent. I'm gonna have to have you and Jillian on at the same time, and we'll have a discussion.
I don't think Jillian will like my opinion.
Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. There's a subreddit that exists to deny the existence of the movie. Like Lao Guy. I'm gonna go check that out. That's incredible.
Sunday evening.
Yeah. Well, and that goes to show this fandom is still really alive 15 years after the original, 16 years now after the original air date.
Mm-hmm.
You don't find that with a lot of shows.
And so I think that just speaks to how good it is.
Oh yeah. No, it's just, this is a show that every time you rewatch it, you find something new. As you grow up and you experience life in your own ways, you find character threads and things that you never thought you could connect to, but you do. And even to this day, I'm a part of a ton of Avatar groups on Facebook because, yes, I'm an old lady and still use Facebook. And they point out theories like, oh, hey, this represents this as this ties into this. And it's like, the writers of this should have been given awards for how much content they packed into all this and how it lasts and the longevity of it all.
Yeah, definitely. No, I'm always reading articles or fan theories, and I'm just like they make so much sense that you're like, well, it has to be true.
Yeah, exactly.
You rewatch it, and you're like, oh my gosh, I think it is true. How did I not see it before?
Exactly. Oh my gosh. And I think that's probably why for some future Order of the Blue Lotus shows, we should definitely go back and do little talks about each of the episodes and have some fans come on and just break it down and maybe do some character talks. The world is open. If you guys enjoy this podcast and stream, let us know, because I'm free. I have no life. Brandi, you probably have more of a life than I do at this point. So
I think it's already pretty well established that I have no life.
Oh, great. See, that's that. We're going to build a new life on YouTube, which doesn't sound sad at all. Oh my gosh. Oh, let's see. Oh, there is one more good point, because it's getting towards half an hour and I usually like to keep these series a little short on the first try. But Kai, Avatar The Last Airbender, a yearly rewatch for you. You should join in for the rewatch for us. And Avatar The Last Airbender was set to get a 4th season where they search for Zuko's mom and deal with post-war effects, and then the Shyamalan Nation attacked.
Yes, I did. I did know that. And again, I try not to think about it.
It's depressing. Well, Louise Xperi, you point out, they did it with the comics. We do have Avatar comics, and they are brilliant, but I want them animated.
Yeah, I think a shortcoming with the comics for me is Avatar: The Last Airbender is so visual, and you do need that motion with like the fighting style. And I think that's where the comics kind of fail. But they're great. They're, again, really great storytelling. I enjoy them a lot, but it's still just not the show. And maybe it's also, I'm no longer 9 years old. But
true. Darn age and time.
But no, comic books are great. So pick them up, read them, enjoy them.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And you can get them digital for cheap. Like, make sure you don't get it for free off of one of those weird piracy websites. Like, not only is that wrong, but support the show.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's Louise, do you agree? They're definitely not as good as the series, but it's content. And who knows, with Avatar Studios, they might go back and reanimate, because I know a lot of the actors are still super attached to the franchise. Dante Bosco, for instance, who voices Zuko, and oh my gosh, what's his name? What's your Korra character?
I know his name, but I'm gonna make you suffer.
Oh, it's Iroh, right? It's General Iroh, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was like, wait, yeah, I should know this. Whew, almost lost the geek card there for a sec.
You got it back. I knew you could.
Good. Oh my gosh. But yeah, if they were to ever, we could do a whole nother podcast on this, on what we want a new Avatar franchise to look like. So, and we might. Who knows? We'll see.
Well, we'll just have to see. But I feel like that's a whole nother rabbit hole that we could go down.
Oh my gosh. You want a rabbit hole? Fan fiction. Good heavens.
I wasn't going to go there. It's only the first episode, but
yeah, we can't scare people. And Rapunzel, thanks for pointing that out. You can go and get them at libraries most of the time, or find them online used. eBay, fantastic for used Avatar books. I bought a couple, so definitely like that. You can go for days, Kai. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, we might have to have you on here. So thank you all for tuning in. Now, Brandi, you and I both have work tomorrow, I assume, for you too. And I need to get going because I have another podcast I got to scoot on to it too. So this has been amazing. So thank you so much for coming on and doing this and agreeing to be on my weird little channel, as many like to put it.
Well, thank you for thinking of me and inviting. It was a great time. I can't believe it's already been over 30 minutes. Seems like we just started.
I know. Oh, it happens every single time I do a podcast. Is we end up talking for like half an hour, and then I realize I should probably extend my time for these shows. So we might have some longer episodes eventually. It's just with life. Like I was explaining to Brandi, we have a new chief meteorologist at the station, and that has been amazing and also very time consuming. So whenever there's time and whenever our schedules sync up, we'll be back.
All right. Well,
awesome. Well, thank you again. Thank you to the viewers. Thank you for everyone who commented, and keep an eye out. You can find me at weather_Katie or at so many fandoms on Twitter, or at forecast_fandom as well. You can subscribe to this channel to stay up to date. And Brandi, are there any projects you want to plug?
I mean, I have projects. I just don't know if they're good. Do it. Okay, so I just started this YouTube channel with some friends, and it's called Meme Senate. We do meme reviews. Comes out every first and third Friday of the month. Wow. It's
I gotta check that out.
Oh, okay. But like at the same time, I feel like it's because it's my own project. I'm like, kind of cringe.
Yeah. Oh, I'm the living embodiment of cringe. So I will be watching that and subscribing, as many people should. Nudge, nudge. Oh, love it. Thanks, Kai. Oh, catch you next time. And thank you, chat, again. Check out Brandi. Check out the rest of this channel. You'll find some fun stuff. Who knows? I might do a fandom forecast for the Avatar universe sometime. I knew that would get you. I can. Oh my gosh, I could do so much. I could just film it in front of a tornado and be like, "I'm an airbender," woo, which I'm not gonna. I will accept. I do that.
Man, if we lived closer together, I would be like, I would come when you're filming it, and I would throw packages at you on the green screen.
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, we gotta make it work. As Supernatural fan, I'm surprised you're not gishing today. I was tempted to do so, but I have to go to bed at like 5. So, and also William. Thanks, ladies, for have a great day. Live long and prosper all. Same. Thank you, guys, and we'll catch you again. Bye.
Bye.
Click the button. The end button.